Hail Mary, baby. I mean, yo, if there is ever a way to
But it's a Hail Mary into like a quarterback who hasn't played a game in who knows how long, who hasn't even warmed up.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. Sometimes you gotta go for it, right? Sometimes you just gotta, you gotta go for it, whatever you can. And I will say though, the focus shouldn't even be that much around Pickles. It should be around Bunny B, who really needs to step up here for Ghost Gaming to have a chance on this defensive side. Bunny B played phenomenally against YFPX on Ascent before, and she needs to do it here against Wada.
Oh gosh, they're just running straight A. They're running straight at A. That paranoia will buy a little time. The wall is nice. That will stall out the initial hit.
Now Wada have a chance to settle. There's no way you're going to want to brute force this. You need to relieve some of that pressure. You know that there's a Omen deadlock now with this drone being used. You assume the Sova, who usually starts B, rotated off. So yeah, you see pings on the minimap right now from Wada on mid 3. Maybe a smoke there. Maybe put some pressure there. They might just send it to B site though. There's still some trips here though. Yeah. Ariel, a player that's been great for Ghost Gaming as well on this map.
Left much to be desired today. As has the Ghost roster. To be fair, they're gonna rotate back A. They're gonna end back A.
Exactly. Here's that relief of pressure, and now we're going back A. But
so
look at the minimap. Ghost Gaming are ahead of it.
Yeah, I don't know that they really alleviated any of the pressure because the trip is still at B, so they know they didn't go that way. Pickles is down. Welcome to the lower final. Already getting picked off through the spam, but the RM Bunny Bee get 2 really big kills. Traded back though. Numbers, the way of the attack advantage for them. 13 seconds left. They should be able to get the spike down. They're even being picky about where they plant the spike. This is beautifully done.
All 3 members, 1 shot of a sheriff to the body. Bunny B has actually come up huge so far.
Last player standing.
It's gonna have to be Bunny B in a 1v3. You mentioned how weak the remaining members of Wada are. A stiff breeze would secure Ghost their first pistol of the series. Bunny B has to get a move on. No utility to speak of. Just have to get your ones, and that's the first one found. 2 bullets left. 2 targets to find. Literally nothing else in the clip. Has to be perfect. And time is so short. Beautifully played by Wada. That's 5 pistols in a row.
Ghost Gaming just kind of unfortunate there. Pickles, yeah, welcome to the lower finals, right? Just getting spammed through the garden smoke by the ghost of Fenboy. That's a tough way in. And I think Ghosts just weren't aware that all 3 members were in sight on that post plant. You saw, yeah, right here, Bunny B just holding a main that entire time. I really would have liked to see Bunny B be the one that takes the engagements on the site, understanding that probably a lot of these players are low because of all the damage that was done. Like, you have the sheriff. It was kind of on you in that moment to really step up to the plate.
Yeah.
2 kills just wasn't enough.
That's what you expect your duelist to be able to do.
Time to jump.
And just not converted this time around. And so off of that, you see the buy again for Ghost. Non-existent. And for Wada, it's 3 Spectres here.
Throwing next.
Got some of that utility on the cat. Saw this default before from Wada on the anti-eco, just working mid and cat at the same time, and now we're ending B.
Astralis getting 1. Wada are giving a decent run at this. It's still 3 Spectres, so the only gun they've really lost was the Outlaw. Bunny B, you were asking for them to step up in the previous round. That's 1 kill found, but now Kataris on an island. Astralis gets 4 as Wada convert on the eco.
Yeah, Ghost Gaming off of Bunny B made that costly. That wasn't as clean as you would hope it to be from Wada. Not ready for a player lane, not ready for the flood out of CT smoke. And now Ghost Gaming, Bunny B is actually playing awesome right now. 4-2 scoreline. Yeah, you weren't able to convert 2 rounds, but you get an operator online because of the kills that you were able to net. The problem here is Starbound has that Outlaw, and in the head-to-head, You gotta be dialed in if you're Bunny B to hit this shot. And on that first map of Lotus, we saw a lot of off the ops go the way of Starbound. A lot of pressure towards A main from the attackers. But the double senties on the opposite side of the map playing extremely patient, waiting for any type of mistake of Ghost Gaming. Now the attackers are going to do a little bit more of a lean towards mid, maybe try to clear out some of this mid space. Wonder if Power's going to get dart back soon to be able to dart mid one.
Should be up in the near future, yeah. Probably within the next 10 seconds, I would think.
What a difference in a round from Wada.
Yeah.
Like, a complete change of pace.
There's the dart.
Flick doesn't connect, but that should give a lot of information to Ghost that this is a lean towards A.
The net there to try to delay a little bit. The smoke comes through. Pickles once again, it gets popped. And Kataris flashed up, couldn't see a thing, tried buying some time. Yara doing the best they could from up in heaven. But as has been the story for a lot of the series, it's just not enough. What more can they do? Aerial there with Bunny B side by side, an operator in hand attempting to retake here. Not the weapon you're looking for. If discipline is the play for Wada, and you imagine that will be the case, nobody will ever give them a shot. The bonus converted for Wada.
Bonus converted, and guess what? Starbound gets an upgrade now. That's what was an outlaw is now an operator. And you would think that Ghost would be prepared for that cat split, given all the information, given the characters that were there, or the agents that were there as well. You have so many different ways to win this, but just got picked apart one by one. I mean, that flash on the guitarist, she's not able to see a thing. Pickle's getting punished in Garden again, trying to take a 1v1. When you have a site set up like that and you're stacked, I feel like you should be able to convert the round with the micro just not going the way of Ghost at all. And now with that first pick, Starbound on the Bunny B site is for the taking. Only aerial back site.
The drone is out too. There is one trip to help out a little bit.
You don't even want to end here.
Yeah. And the dart kind of confirmed that there was nobody out B, so you're right. Try to slip the net. Juna's already all the way up A.
Yeah.
Kataris will be the first. Quiet about it. Pickles down. Juna was so far up. A flawless round as Juna gets 3.
Now Wada are throwing another pump fake. They showed a lot, and it sells because of the fact that Bunny B drops early to the operator of Starbound, right? Like, you're already desperate when you're down 4v5, let alone you're on an eco round. So you kind of feel like you have to like make a move and just stack site.
Yeah.
This is great calling again. Like, it's something that we talked about in the last match. This is great calling for the attackers. Wada look great right now, macro-wise.
Macro-wise, individually, the mechanics are all there. VR and Bunny B both have ults here. We'll see if they can do anything with it.
It's a good combo, honestly, for a retake as well. How passive these trips are, though, for Wada. That Vice ultimate's going to make it so Ariel can't use a gun.
Oh, but Bunny B waited just on the other side of it. And so you imagine a flash or a TP through. There is a rifle in play on the site. The Hunter series there. Bunny B. Again, the positioning on that was beautiful. Waits on the other side of the ult. Strikes when the moment is right. And the iron is hot. Ariel is still here. All of the resources, all of the defenses are starting to come through as Juna gets cleaned up. The op for Starbound rings and connects. That's 2 kills found. Ariel left in a 1v2. Make that a 1v1, and Starbound does not lose those. 5-0 for Wada.
Just when it looks like Ghost are finally going to win a round, it just gets stripped away from this crazy, what was the double senti duo of Starbound and Australis. I feel like you can always count on Starbound and Australis in those down number situations to even the tide. Like, if anyone's going to do it on this roster of Wada, it's Ghost here. And it's because of, like, the multi-kill potential that both these players have, right?
Yeah.
The spray clauses that we've seen Australis get in this series so far alone is a testament to that.
Quick timeout call.
Reigning supreme with that operator. Only 9 deaths in the series. It's just absurd what's going on. In the last 2 maps, not adding this, Starbound was plus 31. These are just like ridiculous numbers.
And again, eight deaths. Now 9.
Yeah.
Maybe Starbound hits double-digit deaths before the series is over. Who knows? It's just been so dominant. And these 5 rounds, I mean, maybe the timeout can kind of tip the scales a little bit here. Quiet start for Kataris. Quiet start for Pickles.
I'm just trying to find some hopium for Ghost. I guess, like, you did get a couple first bloods really early on in the half. You just weren't able to close it out. If you're able to tighten up the defense when you're up numbers and win some of these advantageous positions that you're in,
right?
Maybe you can get something going. I mean, you need to at least make this a 6-6. You would think, if you want to make it competitive.
You need that.
Yeah, you need it exactly.
Yep.
Rip and tear.
Heavy pressure B main and a deep trip. I love that. That's an interesting adaptation there.
Yeah, get you some earlier info on if Wada want to play those mind games with you. The back and forth rotations, but the problem is it was hurt by Juna, so now Wada are in the advantage to play against that. And of course, Starbound is just getting picks. I feel like Starbound has really had Bunny B's number in this series so far, Doug. A lot of these kills that Starbound has been getting has been against Bunny B.
Look at where the spike is right now, man. You've got Pickles in a helpful spot. That's 2. 1 bullet. And that collat will feel good. That collat will help. But Miara's left in a 1v3. No Juna, 5 HP here. What do you do if you're Miara, man?
Just try to get any type of kills that you can. I mean, even damage to the economy at this point isn't really that important because, I mean, Wada have won 5 in a row, and like a couple of the rounds have been flawless. So, I mean, I guess you could start trying to crack away at that, but they're going to be sitting pretty healthy for the next like 5 more rounds.
Revealing area. Found them.
Drop the spike, not let Juna get closer to an ultimate. Power has the Hunter's Fury online.
Yeah. Miara will fall, as you were mentioning. Quick check into the money situation. There's a lot to be had on the side of Wada, as they're up 6-0 on the attacking side. Op is going to be carried over from Starbound. Yeah. Yep. Tough scene.
Yeah, I would like to see from the defense, like a mid trap, you know, like something where you understand that in the mid round, Wada like to work like a 1-3-1 with an operator leading in the mid. Maybe off of a timing, just intuition, go for something, or even like a cam play. Instead, it's going to be double sentinel setup towards A site. Drone up mid. I think that trip should have been seen by it, even though it didn't connect. You'll see a shock dart on the mid. To fight for a main control is Ghost Gaming. Here's that silent walk up and working cat of Fenboy. I mean, you're gonna use the clone. A nice reclear of A main though from Ghost.
Yeah,
good proactivity onto that. Yeah, that was great.
Excellent timing found by Pickles. And this, I surely you rotate away from this. All of that felt bad. Juna's going to be first. Miara will clean them up. Try flipping the map. It is just Miara who's here. Bunny B now starting to rotate over. Tuck back behind barrels. And there's a little bit more to this defensive hold. Should Wada choose to double down on this.
The main smoke needs to come out sooner, though. He's giving isolated 1v1s with no smoke there. Instead, it's a smoke on the site for Miara to play around.
Which is really the only thing that they can really do to help anymore. Miara backside, having to clean it up. Starbound strikes at just the right time. And off of this, they're popping the ult. Power Pixel and Starbound. This duo has been devastating for Ghost. And they're in a position to keep this train rolling. What can Starbound find with the op? The deadlock, all not connecting. Power Pixel falls. Pickles cleans it up. Ghost, get on the board.
Good proactivity into A main, and this time winning the numbers advantage. It got a little bit scary for me when Bunny B didn't get a B main smoke from Kataris, but it was okay because the supporting utility, that dart coming through from Miara, the paranoia coming through from Kataris was able to set up Miara for a kill onto the actual B site. I like the layers that we witnessed this round from Ghost off of the timeout. I think that if they can continue to play to their advantage like this, maybe keep putting this double sentinel utility onto A site, play around it, you could string together some of these rounds, and as long as you don't get caught out by those looks from Juna, maybe you can make the comeback.
Maybe. That's a big maybe, but it's a maybe. We look forward a little bit here. They got too aggressive. They got too cheeky. Fenboy gets two. Ariel's now going to try to fill in on the same space. And so the thing here for Wada is you just dealt with so much of that. You've dealt with half of the Sentinel utility that was on the map. And so now all you have to deal with is Ariel's utility. And Juna's, yeah, Juna's perfect again.
They literally just ran back the same round.
Yeah.
Like, they just did the same thing, but this time there was just more emphasis on the A main. And you even saw the adjustments that Wada made of Astralis going close into A main, not playing that cubby, just like trying to find that timing. Ultimately wasn't the person that converted the kills, but she will convert the last kill.
Which is the one that matters often.
yeah, right. Well, like, just those micro adjustments being made it just shows like how on point Wada are today. You know, like making a micro change off of what you saw in the previous round.
Yeah.
And then executing onto it is extremely impressive. So now Ghost Gaming, like they won a round. They wanted to run back the same type of setup, and now you're left to change it again.
You really have no other choice.
Yep.
They disrespect the one-way immediately. The one-way from Kataris is doing nothing there.
I think it was even missed, which is just unfortunate.
Assault in the room, huh?
Look at this time. Juna's already up mid as A is being taken. This is so aggressive of a lurk.
I'm telling we've casted Wada a couple of times. Juna's insane.
Fake teleport.
Yeah.
Cutting through.
Server presence has been shining today.
Yeah.
And of course, we have a judge in heaven. Oh, man.
Fenboy gets two with the judge. You start to see some of the defensive rotations come out. That's 3 for Fenboy.
About to be 4.
Ariel's 20 HP. Even fully flashed. Nicely done to get one. And Juna saves it. 8-1 for Wada.
I've gotten so good at caster cursing players lately. I don't know what's gotten into me, man. I'm like, oh yeah, that boy's gonna get 4 now. Nope, gets full spam blind.
Brother, for Ghost Gaming's sake, you might want to try that on all of Wada.
I don't think I have enough power for that right now. This form of Wada is just too strong. We'll see if Miara can do anything with this Hunter's Fury. This is maybe the saving grace of what could be an 8-4 for Ghost. Right here, right now. A dart in mid for the attackers, but it's actually extremity control, which is the name of the game. Bunny B, re-walking into this space, is good. I like the aggressiveness, but is Juna aware?
Gotta be close. Nope. Just quicker on the draw was Bunny B.
It's a great start. But here's where it falls apart for Ghost against Wada, is when they have the advantage.
That wall's in a really nice spot. Astralis is already peeked out and destroys Pickles.
It's just ridiculous. All of a sudden, the numbers are even now. Still so much utility for the attacking side. There's that Hunter's Fury, though.
Trying to inject a little chaos. A little madness into the site and into the round. Astralis trying to peek around the cage from down in hell as Bunny Bee catches Fenboy, I guess trying to upgrade a weapon. Now the ult used. Astralis is left in a 1v3. On the site proper, nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. Miara cleans it up as Ghosts get to 2.
This is exactly what we need to see out of Bunny Bee. Going for those reclear timings at their own pace, and then playing the advantage. Now, yeah, obviously it was a 4v4 on site, but you still had that Hunter's Fury to be used. And yeah, that was enough injected chaos that Bunny Bee was able to get even more kills. 3K into that round.
Here.
Can you keep it up? Can you string together 2 rounds in a row? It's been something that has been very difficult for Ghost to do. It's something that you must do. It's required right now.
Scanning ahead.
Juna ult, but,
pressure.
yeah, but look where the spike is.
Yep.
Again, the calling from Wada is so good. It's so nice.
That trip didn't get broken, though. This should be so obvious for Ghost. It should already be a heavy lead. What?
Yeah, spam through the smoke for Pickles. The rotation's just now arriving back A. Power Pixel tucking down in hell. Do you have any ults? Fenboy has ult. That's all it is, though. Let's see if the spam can find a free one. Juna forced to sit back and watch as the wall will keep them back. And the sound sensor, too. It's just buying time.
Spam kill on the aerial?
A wall is now down. The paranoia will be used. Fenboy pushing forward. Not really concerned with alleviating some of that tree stuff. Power falling. Juna's got a timing slow walk through the trip, and they have no idea. The op shot's wide. Juna falls. Fenboy with 2. He's gonna have to fall into a 1v1. Kataris on the other side. It's been such a rough series, and it's not getting any better. Fenboy with 4 in the Red Bull clutch for Wada.
It's just ridiculous how Fenboy plays Valorant. I swear. It's truly a different game. I mean, even the decision to want to pop your ultimate in a 4v4 post plant, you can't really help out, you know? Like the flood or anything. Finding the perfect timing to come out of that Yoru ult and just securing all those kills, slipping into the smoke.
Go here.
It's a breath of fresh air, honestly, to watch. Now Wada are putting themselves in a good spot to get a 10-2 half on attack Ascent. I mean, 9 is already enough, it feels like.
Yeah. Probably. What?
To make things worse, you're just shooting elbows now.
Elbows? I thought that was the pinky.
Right? That was very fast.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah.
Questionable play from Bunny Bee, though. I mean, that was audible the entire way through, right? Kind of just sending it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, look at this. We're smoking door for players to lurk up garden. It's just...
It's beautiful to watch.
So clean.
Meanwhile, the whiffed ult from Pickles. Miara with the stinger from a distance. So far, so good, though. 1 kill found as Juna
Can't move.
decides to take the fight just a little bit closer. It's a 2v2 here. The sniper not going ahead yet. Kataris was in a great spot, but Juna again.
30 seconds left.
I feel like I've said her name so many times tonight. Juna's just been unreal. Wada, 10-2 half. Brother, they're knocking on the door of that grand final.
Yeah, and in such a dominant fashion as well, which is extremely important. Because, you know, Shopify is sitting here watching all these VODs, just soaking up information, seeing what changes are made. You are right about the pinky shot. Jeez. This is exactly how you want to go into a final after losing.
Oh yeah,
the uppers, right?
Yep.
Want to make it clean. You want to kind of almost incite fear into Shopify, which obviously, you know. What am I seeing?
Okay, brother, I saw the Wada.
It's a timeout, right?
Yeah, it's at a Wada timeout, and I went, "There's no way. There's no way." But it is a tech pause. I am being told that there was a player connectivity issue. So once they reconnect, we'll get back into the game. You were talking about, Dre, I want to give you a chance to continue. You were talking about essentially the platform that Wada can launch off of on this series as they turn their attention towards what's likely going to be the grand final for them tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's really important that you win as cleanly as possible, like they have been. You don't want to show all your adaptations that you have off of the last loss you had, especially because, I mean, the maps that we've seen today are the ones that we saw in the map pool yesterday, right? So we've seen already changes on the Ascent attack approach, and the fact that they won't showcase a lot of their defense, which is what got exploited by Shopify yesterday, is extremely important for that matchup.
We're back. This pistol, this goes without saying, this is a must-win pistol for Ghost. And Dre, part of the problem is they haven't won a pistol this entire series, and so it's a tough sledding here for the attack.
Yeah, even when they were up 2, they couldn't close it out. It's not been an easy battle for them. Dart does get broken in mid 1, but it's a double attack with a Yoru flash out of cat.
That's a pretty flash. Fenboy bit off a bit more than they could chew.
Oh my gosh.
It's just one. Power was there on the trade. I like this positioning out from Power. Taking a quick step back. That's a Ghost in light armor. And all of that light armor is now gone. The reposition, is it going to try to push back in through mid? Could be exactly what they need.
Yeah, Bunny B is a menace right now with this Ghost.
That's another kill now. 2 more to find on the other side of the wall. 2v4. Bunny B with 2. Make that 3. The last one is snappy. Ghost got the pistol.
Way more decisive, way more assertive was Bunny B on this attack approach. Just running it down all the way mid to B main. Really pressuring Power to not get anything done with that good positioning that you were talking about. Ariel almost got timing right there, looking to the right on the swing. That was a good refocus of the crosshair. And now is like the tough part. Like, how do you navigate and not get thriftied again? Like, you have to do something extra. And I guess it's just Bunny B lighting up the kill feed again.
And that'll help. Remember, those were some of the sticky spots. Those were some of the sticky situations you were just talking about. The thrifties have not been kind to them. And so to be able to win that out early on is a good sign. How much can Fenboy do here? Nothing. Very well played. I mean, that's discipline, and that's exactly what you want, right?
Yeah.
Perfectly
Great
played.
Drone. And now you can just flood it into the A site together, really set up, make this as clean as possible, make this a potential flawless anti-eco.
I think
not much for Wada to do.
No, I think as we look forward for Ghost, you were talking about how they, are kind of messing around with a potentially flawless eco. If they were to convert this without dropping anything, which seems likely, a Vandal, a Guardian, a Vandal and 3 Bulldogs and an Outlaw, which is very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there will be a lot of players with with full shields. Oh wait, Starbound's putting some damage in right now.
Oh, Juna is
oh wait. It was almost so clean. Only 2 end up surviving.
And one of them's gonna have to buy armor again. Miara can probably keep the regen armor, but Ariel will not have the same luxury.
It's such a small thing, but it matters so much when you're trying to make a comeback of this sort. I mean, nice shots from Starbound though, and also I believe it was it Juna again?
I think so. Yeah, I mean we can assume probably. I don't know.
Yeah, and this is the problem, that all that damage being done allows Starbound to just invest in Outlaw. And now look at how many players are one shot to it. I mean, every single member.
And if you are just tuning in to Game Changers for the first time, you haven't really seen anything from the Swiss stage or from the main stage. Starbound is good with the Outlaw. Starbound is good with the Op. And so, a very strong position for Wada right now. Fenboy getting tagged. Yeah, tricky spot to be in there. The net was very good. Astralis gets cleaned up too. Starbound, don't make me a liar. Starbound's good for one. The second one will split the uprights. And Juna's left in a 1v2. Kataris, it will upgrade to the Outlaw, excuse me. Juna has a decent shot at this if timing goes their way. No way. Oh, head spotted. And now position given away. Miara will get flushed off of this. I was wondering if the flash was there. And it does connect. And so that's going to buy a little bit of time. Juna has to play this perfectly. But this, you assume, would be the dagger. If Juna can pull this off. A 1v2. First kill found. And now, understanding of the second. And Juna does it again for Wada.
Perfect isolation on the fights. Juna has been an absolute freak in the server on this Ascent. You go back to the aggressive lurk timings on attack. Now, that 1v2 was just so clean, precisely swinging the player in hell, but also the way that Juna used that full Vice utility. I mean, Razor Vining off the player on Gen, flashing hell to get info that Kataris is playing there. It was just masterfully done, and that was a must-win round for Ghost. It felt like they shouldn't have even gotten that close, given how the buy was. All that good stuff that Ghost did to get into that post plant was just stripped away off of a 1v2 of Juna. Aggressiveness, beating the timing on that chamber trip. Why did I have no idea of this? But he needs to take the timing.
Does the drone tag? No. Bunny be in a really nice power position here. Off of the flash. Juna was the sacrificial lamb.
Beautiful, cutting off the B rotations, and these two players on A are isolated.
Power picks on now falls, but Fenboy snatches the lead right back. I mean, any advantage instantly gone. Fenboy has a chance for more. Trying to settle onto the third, not connecting onto the fourth, but the damage has been done. And it's Starbound in a 1v2. Just Headhunter bullets here. I don't think there's even a chance to upgrade a weapon. Bunnybee's going to be up close. Very nicely done by the Oru. Ghost get to 5.
What an exploit of the chamber trip in mid. And nobody close enough to even hear the audio cue of Bunnybe committing that TP. And now you kind of have to have somebody sit maybe even closer to market to be able to hear something like that. That might change the way that Wada approach the defense. They definitely have to compensate for that, because that is, I mean, that's a huge gap. I mean, look at this. Look at mid now, Doug.
Yeah, that's not happening again. Yeah.
That is hilarious. 4 members running it down mid, but Ghost Gaming with your ultimate should get information that B is free. Are you going to be ready for this 4-person walk down of mid with the fast flank B main? Yes, it is a weak buy from Wada, but we've seen them pull out miracles before.
Spike planted.
Portal closed.
Sound sensors are in a pretty aggro spot. Surely they're going to realize that's where the flank is coming from now. The tough thing too is that Power's forced on the other side of the wall, so can't really join the conversation. At least not yet. Starbound, that shock is going to hurt. Astralis falls. Starbound out. Power close by. Yara back sight gets cleaned up. Really nice shot from Power. Starbound in a 1v2. Last 2 kills are cleaned up by Pickles as Ghost get to 6.
Yeah, nice shots from Pickles. I mean, all things considered, I don't think Pickles has had a bad lower final debut. I have to say.
No, not at all.
I think Ender was right. Pickles is definitely a shooter. Now having that Deadlock ultimate online. Wada made it a little bit scrappy there, but ultimately Ariel was able to get a lot of those massive trades.
One enemy remaining.
Kind of turn things back into favor of Ghost in that post play. 11-6 is the score line here. So many ults, Power ultimates online for Ghost Gaming to run it down wherever they want. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fake B presence, though, and the spike is towards A, so running a fake of their own. The Euro clone won't bait out the Vice Wall, though, and that's kind of...
Freaking spot. Oh, gosh. They baited out the Hunter's Fury, but the problem is they're all going to be dead by the time it happens. They don't know. That's
Nobody helps
cold.
Juna?
No, that's so cold. Well, the thing is, they didn't know if there was anyone else behind the smoke.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. Well, poor one out for Juna. That's messed up. Still a 3v2. Ghost still down. And Ariel's got a really good flank. But is anyone holding the smoke? No. Ariel gets one. Ariel gets two. Fenboy puts him out. Guitarist on the other side. And Guitarist stands strong. Ghost gets to 7.
Oh, man. Ghost are starting to get confidence in these 1vx situations. They're looking good. What a massive play from Ariel, picking the perfect timings. By the way, Astralis was watching that flank for like
in the smoke
a couple seconds. Yeah.
Heaven?
Astralis was watching the flank Heaven.
Yep.
And the timing couldn't have been more perfect for Ariel. Just perfect opportunity. Execution was almost flawless. Fenboy is popping off, but got shut down in the 1v1 against Guitarist. And now, Wada again on an eco round. I feel like we barely had to say this in this series.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't happened very often.
No.
And the times that it has, it's been converted.
You know what, Doug? I'm so happy that Bunny B was able to punish the jumping kills that we've been seeing Fenboy get in that round. I was like, how many times is Fenboy going to get away with this?
Surely not again. Surely not again. Drones passing by one another like ships in the night. Still just a couple of sheriffs. The only real gun is the Vandal for Starbound. No real way past the smoke. Juna's dead. The quintuple face. Good luck. Yeah, Powerplic's out in 1v5. That will wrap it up. Ghost will get to 8. Barring an ace. Instead, it's a flawless round for Ghost. Money should be...
to the round.
Yeah, Money should be stacking up nicely. 3 members kept full armor. Wada call a timeout.
Yeah, they have to settle. Wada have been getting destroyed on their defense. Again. Maybe the blueprint was that Shopify game. Like Ghost Gaming kind of just taking some of the same strategies that worked against Wada in their previous matchup. That's what? That's 6 rounds to 1 on the second half for Ghost. This is becoming competitive. This is becoming everything that Wada were hoping it wouldn't become.
Yeah.
Now, how do you maneuver around the operator of Starbound and the Odin of Power?
I don't think they've had to
really
face that,
pivotal
have
guns
they?
on defense. No, not so much lately. I mean, they had to go against the chamber operator of Starbound, and I think they did a really good job of maneuvering around it. But now, you know, you have to deal with that Odin as well, and a Vice ultimate if Wada want to play retake on that A side again. Something that they tend to like to do a lot. See here.
Yeah, I'm curious about what the setup will be for Wada. It looks like the Odin will be B around the Vice utility and the Op A. And so the trip mid, I mean, the weaponry has changed, but the setup looks pretty similar, Dre.
Revealing area.
It's still a pretty passive setup at A main, at least. A quick TP from Fenboy to go to B if there's any mid to B pressure. Clone used, and no one spotted if anybody was in mid for Wada. This is that weak mid setup that got abused by the Euro TP. And now Fenboy has to pick that up. You see that TP?
Yeah. And it was all off of the...
perfect for Ghost.
It was all off of the trip. Very well done. The flash is there. Can Starbound get out? Yes, and gets a kill for their troubles. Oh, gosh. I thought that was going to hit. Shock soaring in towards heaven. You got Astralis playing just on the other side of the wall, waiting for the tiniest of slivers to connect and cannot. So Spike gets planted again. Ghosts have done very well to get to this point once more.
This is just so hard to hold, though, because the Vice ultimate.
Yeah.
This thing's going to hit every single member.
It's so aggro. You look at the position on the minimap, I do think you're right. Everybody should get tagged. There's no place that's safe. It's all down to the classics. Pickles gets 1. Taurus does 2. And that's all it'll be. The ult from Juna was perfect. Starbound gets 3. Wada gets a series point.
It was looking so promising for Ghost. I think they played that round really well early on, baiting out that chamber trip. And the fact that Wada had nobody in mid, like Bunny B had to teleport back to B to pick it up. All of a sudden, A becomes weak, and we even flash Starbound off of the angle in hell. But it's the punish against Bunny B again that Starbound gets. That basically makes it impossible for Ghost to be able to play into this site.
Yeah. And honestly, I thought, I mentioned it in the round, I thought Starbound was going to hit the second in the smoke.
Yeah.
The one saving grace, if you will, Bunny B's 2 off of ult, and so maybe, I mean, maybe you game plan around that. I don't know.
I mean, especially because you haven't taken any main control so far. I don't think Ghost are aware of how weak a main has been this half. The fake clone.
Oh no.
Hail Mary plays. I mean, you know what?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sure try it. It's better to try it than to not. Aerial falls, and there are only 3 pieces that remain for this Ghost Gaming squad. A hell of a run to get to this point. I don't know that anyone expected them to be in this position, but they're down in numbers here. Now 2v2 is Ghost trying to claw their way into this, trying to keep this thing alive. There is hope for Ghost. It's slim, and it might be fading, but there is hope. Power Pixel and Starbound, the Odin and the Operator. The prolific duo for Wada in a position to close the series out, to send them to the grand finals, to send them back to a rematch with SRG. And the only 2 members that are standing in their way are Miara and Kataris. Spike now down. A reposition from Kataris. And this first fight will be everything as Starbound creeps forward with the Operator. Hell, pseudo cleared. You gotta understand, there it is. A bullet right between Kataris' eyes. What can Miara do? Can Miara convert the 1v2? The dink is not enough. Wada sweep Ghost Gaming. They are grand finals bound.
Huge series from Wada. A great bounce back as well after, you know, kind of getting destroyed on Ascent last time they played. I think that they still show that they need to make more improvements on that defensive side of Ascent. I think Ghost Gaming did a good job of climbing their way back into that map.